Have you ever noticed that sometimes you hear the same piece of advice many times before it finally makes sense? You might hear an idea from a friend, then again in a book, then again in a podcast or a video. Each time you understand the words, but something about it still feels distant. It sounds reasonable, but it doesn't truly change the way you think or behave. Then one day something happens in your life. A difficult situation, a mistake, a relationship challenge, or a moment where your emotions completely take over. And suddenly, the exact same idea you heard before finally clicks. The words haven't changed, but your understanding has. This happens because intellectual understanding and real knowing are not the same thing. Your brain can recognize a concept long before it truly believes it. At first, an idea is just information. It exists in the thinking part of your mind. You can explain it, you can repeat it, but it hasn't yet been connected to enough real experiences to become deeply integrated. Then life begins providing those experiences. Moments where the lesson becomes relevant. Moments where your actions produce consequences. Moments where your emotions reveal something about how you think. Each experience adds another piece to the puzzle. Your brain slowly begins connecting the concept with real-life evidence. Eventually, there comes a moment where the idea stops feeling theoretical. It becomes something you understand in your body, your emotions, and your decision-making. That is the moment when information becomes knowing. But even then, the process doesn't stop. Many people imagine personal growth like earning a diploma. Once you understand something, you believe the lesson is complete and you never have to work on it again. But emotional intelligence doesn't work that way. Understanding something once does not mean you will never struggle with it again. Life keeps presenting new situations, new emotions, new relationships, each one slightly different from the last, each one giving you another opportunity to apply what you know. Sometimes you will respond with awareness and clarity. Other times you will fall back into old habits. That is part of the learning process. Growth is not about reaching a final point where you never face challenges again. Growth is about becoming more aware each time those challenges appear. Over time, something important begins to change. The awareness arrives sooner. The emotional reaction becomes less intense. The recovery becomes faster. Situations that once caused confusion or chaos become easier to navigate. The lesson continues evolving as you gain new experiences. What you understood 5 years ago may deepen in a way you never expected. What once felt like a struggle may eventually feel like wisdom. This is why life seems to repeat certain lessons, not because you failed to learn them, but because each new experience allows you to understand them at a deeper level. Personal growth is not a single moment of realization. It is an ongoing process of awareness, experience, reflection, and practice. The lesson doesn't appear once and disappear forever. It returns in different forms, and each time it does, you have another opportunity to respond with a little more understanding than before.